We're working. Okay. Thank goodness. That thing, I don't know what keeps happening, but OBS just keeps changing my settings on me. My audio devices switch around. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit at all. Unless I tell you to change it. Then don't freaking change it, man. Come on. Such a nonsense. Anyway. Hi, Daisy. Welcome. Good to see you. Road trip and can't stay. Wanted to say have a lovely start. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good road trip. Hope you're road tripping well. Okay, let's get started. I think we have like 2 chapters, segments, whatever you want to call it. I'll just pull up this thing real quick so that I don't get caught unawares. Wait, okay. Yeah, all right. Hi, Craig. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the 21 months. Whoa. That's so many months. That's almost 2 years. We're going on 2 years. Actually, yeah, it's 2 years next month that I started doing this. Crazy. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good one. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do for if I'm gonna like do like a 2-year anniversary thing. I might do something. Could be fun. Maybe we'll do another one of those like Gartic phone nights. People seem to get a kick out of that. It was a lot of fun last time. Even get some new folks because it's like turns out that's just basically how you find random games of Jackbox and Gartic phone. You just look for people streaming it. Pretty cool, actually. All right, well, we'll get started on this. We are on end part 1. There's actually 2 parts to the end part of this part of the game, which is part of a series. Yes, we'll load that save. And now we're back outside the Gatewater land place, whatever, where all that stuff happened. Let me know if the audio is okay. I think it should be okay. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. Oh man, it's a severed little freak doll. Was it out here in the open all along? No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. Let's get down to it. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Promises made, promises kept. I've been saying that every time that he says it in the game. Okay, this looks weird. Just right off the jump. What do we have here? Maybe I'll peek out a little bit more like that. That's good. What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon? Is it possible that these 2... Hold it right there. Oh, I bet it's Dogman. Yep, as I thought. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? That's a good Edgeworth noise. This pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren D. Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. Lauren D. Aha, we have you now, Miss Kidnapper. It was her? No, you don't understand. I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. Lance. Wait, is her name? I thought her name was Lauren. But he calls her Lolly because of the lollipop? I see. You're kidding! Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers. Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage. Right, yeah, so there was this kidnapping case. Miles got kidnapped, and then that guy was being held hostage. And then there was another guy who's dead. He was found dead. That's right. The butler. The guy's butler. The guy's dad's butler. So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved. Or over. Hey, guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Again, Mr. Prosecutor, what is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who are you calling a sham? He takes personal offense for the boys in blue. The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Yeah, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I do not believe that for a second. There is no shot. Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it. Me? Why is he find this so funny? Somebody died, dude. Thanks for the confession. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Pops. Yes? Oh, I get it, lollipops. That's why she called. That's why he called her Lollipops. Oh, let's go. Very cute. I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder. But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough? It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? She's just oh, the licking. Very concerned licking. I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Armando would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. No, I don't believe that. I don't think she has it in her. I think she's being coached. I think she's being blackmailed by this guy somehow. There's some blackmail going on. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I could at least respect that much. Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth? Yes, it is. If that is the truth, it certainly is the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler. We knew we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Armando would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan. As soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. Huh. Do we get a little hint here? What's wrong, Kay? I can't believe she was betrayed. I kind of feel sorry for her. I feel a little sorry for her, too. However, I also wish she would tell us the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable. Okay. I'll give it another careful listen and see. Alright. So what's the weird part of that? I think probably the part where like the last one here. Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. That seems like we're skipping a lot of steps here. Like you kind of went like, oh well, we just got the money. Don't worry about how we did it. We just got the money, and then you turned on me. Like we're skipping a lot of steps here. You should have some idea of what happened in that plan. Why do you think he did? I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Okay, girl, you would definitely know about that. Miss Pops. Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning? Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? I'm thinking yes. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely. Huh? I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you. But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money. Hang on, what? Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you? Yeah, people kill each other over money all the time. It's like normal, right? What do you mean? You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Miss Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops. What have we got here? Huh. Wait. Wait. Look at this. It says Lauren D. Lauren D is engraved into this pendant. What does D mean? I thought she was Lauren Pops. M-E. Haha. Yeah, it's got something to do with that pendant. Why are you showing this to me? So what about the pendant? Oh, somebody's getting nervous, huh? This pair of wings, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are. Wait. There's a what? Whoa! Colin Devore. Colin D. These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree? Hey, you're right. They're the same color, and they're even made of the same material. I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Cute sprite. Shall we give it a try? Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's? You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be. What? No, that can't be. So the two make a set. It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything. You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you this evidence. Thank you. I should be a lawyer, honestly. Just mail me the law degree. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This piece is a bit, which one is that? This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. Okay, let's take a look at this dossier again. Whereabouts a known actress escaped from Penny Dent prison. Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter. Oh, are you thinking what I'm thinking? I think that Lauren is his daughter. Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Devore, The name of that is etched on the horse pendant. What? An alias? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Devore's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. The specific section is what reveals the true meaning behind those pendants. Oh, you actually point out the words. That's kind of cool. I think it's this part right here. Mr. Devore had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops. That's a lie! That person was not my father! He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot? And what is so funny, Agent Lang? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. Oh god, this freaking guy. What kind of nonsense did he pull this time? I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano, and the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? I definitely think if my father, who I haven't seen in years because he was in prison, suddenly came back into my life and was like, hey, let's do a kidnapping, I would be like, heck yeah, I'm down, sign me up. Sounds like a great idea, dude. Sarcasm, of course. So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that either one didn't know of their true relationship, right? You mean they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter? That's right, as one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence. No, absolutely not. Two of them are father and daughter, but isn't it possible they both knew that fact? Okay, their meetings. Where were the meetings? What were these meetings that we're talking about? That would be weird. That seems too unlikely too. You escape from prison, and under an alias, you manage to get a job as a butler for this really wealthy family. I just don't see it. It just seems too unbelievable. It just don't make no sense, love. However, it seems like there is some sort of clue in these costumes. The kidnapper stole 3 costumes, a blue, a proto, and a bad badger. That means we basically know there are 3 kidnappers. Or yeah, like 4 of them were stolen. But we found them in different places. Let's just present this thing. The kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone. Right, yeah, it was 2. There's a 3rd kidnapper. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. 3? 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout, but as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group, and I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. The real Zero, if you will. Who is this mastermind? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. You'll never believe this, but it is actually Lance. It's gotta be, right? Why would she kidnap? Why? Lance Amano! Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. He's trying to get inheritance. Recall what he said when he appeared before us. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but one was a woman. However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said. But I know I only saw 2 people. This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them. Ah, yes, about when you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive? I really don't remember much anymore, of course. Honest, yes, of course. But if I don't at least tell you something, you won't believe me at all, will you? Okay, I'll make an exception because he looks very polite. Okay. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room, blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was the stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could. You were blindfolded and cuffed, but you still managed to escape. Wow, dude, that was pretty awesome. Seems like you're really downplaying how much of an accomplishment that was. I wonder why. Through the underground passageway, I presume. Are you okay? Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. Boom! How can you not? Why do you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor. Because they're all like that. I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. I love this guy. There is a sticky point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little. Yes, indeed. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room, blindfolded the entire time. The kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time of her rain falling. I think we skipped a lot of steps with this one. I feel like when someone's obviously lying, you want to look for the parts where they're obviously skipping a lot of steps. Like, yeah, I did a heroic backflip out of that big window that was like 10 feet high. And I escaped and I ran away and nobody caught me. I was so heroic. It was awesome, by the way. Just in case you didn't know, it was actually pretty sick. Anyway, but yes. We're gonna press him on that a little bit. How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined. The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway. Door leading outside was locked tight. But wait. The door was actually being jammed shut with this. The actual door itself was not unlocked. That's a contradiction. Background explosion. Yeah, it was so cool. And then I took out sunglasses. And then I got back to town and my father just gave me all the inheritance. And then also the mayor came over and gave me the key to the city. It was awesome. But don't worry about it. It's no big deal. It's fine. You say the door leading out was locked, but was it really? Oh, he's absolutely gagged. We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open. Right, Sheena? Yes, that's correct. Oh, wow, Sheena talks. I think that's the first line she's actually had. Then take a look at this. What is that? A sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape? Why didn't I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own. You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. And what would that be? A motive, what else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself? Oh, yes. Oh, very much so. That's like peak Nepo baby behavior right there. I'm kidding. This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit this crime. Wait. Which one was it? Oh gosh, which one was it? I need to connect that to the... Oh, to this. Love letter. He did it for love. Oh, no, sorry, money. Sorry. To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is, in fact, a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Ugh. Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. Okay, that's not... It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your own old man, huh? Boom! Alright, I give up. I abducted myself. Lance! It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that $1 million. But now, that dream is over. Oh, Lance. Then you are giving yourself up? Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money, that's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. Bro, he literally would have helped you if you asked. Dude, that guy, your dad loves you. He would have helped you if you asked. Why? We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the blue badger costume. That would mean the person Officer Meekins saw was Miss Pops. But right then the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a bad badger costume, took the suitcase with the $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly. I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. Lolly, then it really was you? Oh gosh. Chain of events. The man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. But that bad badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, the other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life. I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was. If what she says is true, Are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You would be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay? Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more, and you'll see. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million, but that badger pointing his gun at me, aiming to shoot me. Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? And also, I would say, I mean, if he was about to shoot you, isn't shooting him kind of like self-defense? But, I mean, yeah, you still do kill him. I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. Hey, I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna be a minute or two. I'm not gonna go BRB, but I am going to... Here. Here's the thing. I have a text thing now. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Hi, I'm back. Give me a moment to get my soul back in my body. My apologies. I'm like super, I'm like fine. I felt better once I got like a meal in me. But like, oh my god, getting 2 jabs yesterday kind of wiped me out today. Ah, there I am. Getting 2 jabs really wiped me out. My arms are both sore. They're like different levels of sore. Okay, I'll take this off. All right, we'll continue. Thank you for waiting. Okay. The badger pointed his left gun, the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead. What did we remember about one of the badger? Well, we can take a look. We don't have to present it here. We just have to look at it. We got the Bible, the Blue Badger Bible. One of these, the Bad Badger, has a gun, and it's actually, we actually know. Yeah, left hand. Oh, it looks like it's actually in the right hand in this picture. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, right hand, because it's facing us. So what's that about? What's all that then? But then we also have the dossier. Still a gun from the guard during his escape. Oh, I see it. Hey, dominant hand, right. Ah. God, it's mighty inconvenient that they actually managed to list your dominant hand on that dossier, right? That seems that might be our smoking gun right here. Pun intended. I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Then the person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is the only hand he could have held the real gun, which is why the only gun he could have held the real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Enough with the smugness, out with it already. Miss Pops told us earlier. There was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. So he doesn't have a free hand. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face. But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger. And yet, the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. It wasn't the Bad Badger, both hands were not occupied. Both are correct. Impossible, that just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Miss Pops' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands. Ah. There was a costume, but we don't know which one it is for. So, And also, actually, yes, we can take a look at this. And we do see that both the Bad Badger... Well, actually, all the blue ones are gone. Only the pink one remains. So, we're going to present the Bad Badger's head. This head could have been used with a different body. The costumes have two parts to them, a head and the body. Oh, I get it now. The head Miss Pops saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? A different badger? Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the Bad Badger Miss Pops saw really belonged to... It could have really only been this one, I guess. The other ones were being used. The Proto Badger. What the heck is it? It's the Proto Badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the Blue Badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the Pink Badger is the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the Proto Badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the Proto Badger costume? That would be Lance. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the Blue Badger's head, the Bad Badger's head, and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while he was wearing that hideous thing. The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have to do all that, huh? There is but one reason. Lance Amano, you are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What? No. That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Oh. Ha. Who is one-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right? Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet. Oh, wait, what? Yo, wait, what? Oh, we do have the model gun. This fires blanks. And it was ripped off of that costume. Which would have been the bottom half of the Bad Badger costume. Ah, ha, ha. We found one half of a Bad Badger costume in the hideout. A broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing. Plus, it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the Bad Badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Pops, where is the gun you used now? I threw it away into the sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although, I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. God, you have an answer for everything, dude. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Ha, I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Please, wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance. She saw the victim in the state of being restrained? What Miss Pops saw. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pops saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about that account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. Logic time. Galaxy brain mode. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained him. He tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. Press. You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw? Yes, I am certain of what I saw. Did you go into the other room to check? Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul. Then, are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself? I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon. She saw a bad badger head. Oh, well, we know who was wearing that. Got to have a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. Press that. So the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his bad badger costume. Yes, and? It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Lance literally, like, he was willing to kill for money. Like, he was that guy who was doing that. And his dad loves him so much, he could have helped him. God damn. That sucks. That person you saw was not the victim. What? Why not? I will tell you why not. With this, Miss Pops, shows us that the person you saw was not the victim. Bad badger's head. Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. Huh? The person you saw was actually this person. Ah, well, we know who was tied up in the other room, right? It was me. Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth? Literally, he uses his own father, his girlfriend. That's like, man, dude. Come on now. I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me, even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right? You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on, and then made your costume to escape together. Or so you pretended. Yeah, that's why he didn't want you to get too close, because if you got too close, you might have realized it wasn't him. Huh? What do you mean he pretended? Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword. He then escaped via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Oh, God. It looks like Lance is cowering behind Lang. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All of that could happen while you were out cold. That's right, you were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam. I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Whomst? Oh, it's Dad. Please wait. Mr. Romano. Oh, Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad... Let's see. You are the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh? Do you now? Oh? Is that what I think it is? It's the Bad Badger costume that the victim was wearing, and a gun. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea. Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There now. Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Romano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says. I can do whatever I want, Ron. The Chief of Police? What the? Just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area. Oh, there now. There is no need to be so upset. Dad is well connected. Another reason why it's not such a good idea to betray him. I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. I can do whatever I want. Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand. It doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the test. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. Wait, what? Hold up. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it. These are the case-making pieces of evidence. I'll be the judge of that. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, let's look at that. This bullet hole. It looks kind of burnt around the edges. Imagine if Emma was the one who did it. She's the only forensic scientist in this country. It looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is a most important fact. Why is that? Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. There's also this gun. Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? Oh wait, what's this in here? It's like there's something in the head. Looks like there's something inside the costume head. Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here? Why indeed? Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Oh no, dude. Decisive evidence. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch as she takes on the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence? God, even though you're such a screw up, your dad is still trying to get you out of it. That's how much he loves you, dude. Make no mistake, these fingerprints. There are fingerprints on the murderous gun. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops? There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yeah. Fake it till you make it, baby. Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pops' prints, should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pops should not be on the gun is... Well, it comes back to the head. It all comes back to the head. The costume, the body. It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints. Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. Yeah, she did. She totally did. But they were able to retrieve that costume. Isn't that very interesting? Isn't that a very fascinating detail there? I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. To retrieve that ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun. Ugh. Do you understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance. What? No way. I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. Sorry, just a sec. Right, okay, so we have, which one is it? Victims, oh yeah, victim's costume. We have that. It's just been renamed. It was Blue Badger head. Let's take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it. Ah, it would be the bullet hole. The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. Ah, so then you mean the murder Miss Olbach saw at the stadium really was... Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Ah. Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... It was the haunted house. I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here. The haunted house. That's why the glass is there. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely. We got that. We got the glass. Yeah, glass him. These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. A mirror? And what does that have to do with anything? Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the Blue Badgermobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badgermobile was stolen confirms this as fact. Miles, my boy, say no more. I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house. Yeah, I guess that's true. You see, isn't it possible that fragments got into the costume there? But, Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? You know I don't know math, Mr. Prosecutor. Lang Z says, on truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? Come on, Kay, you're not helping. Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. See? So since you don't have any, shut up. I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. What now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted, but you're not to touch a single thing, got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. Sheena. I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval. Who was that? Now, let's hold on for a second. There is no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano? Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena? He has to show it to Sheena because he can't read. Can't read, don't know math. I go on vibes alone. It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed? Read it, out loud. Gatewaterland Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million, paid in full in cash. What? As you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house. Are you kidding? When did you... I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was... Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? Gosh, the suitcase cannot escape getting burned. I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money? My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So, I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. Oh my god, this whole family is crazy. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. Oh no. Oh no. Are you even like allowed to do that? I feel like that's like, I feel like there's some law against this. But he's basically like, screw the rules, I have money. Man, you can literally just buy people off. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing. When you have that kind of money in cash that's just liquid, you can just do crazy things. Yeah, that's it. All right. I guess we'll go ahead and finish this because I think there's two. I think the next one is the last one. I think the last chapter is the last part, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, N2 is the last part. So yeah, I'm gonna take a BRB, and then we'll come back and do that. I will see you in just a little bit. Here's the break command. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, hi, I'm back. Let's go. Let's do this thing. Hope you had a good rest break. Yeah, hope it was good. Let's start this thing. Let's say the progress. Can't be playing fast and loose with this stuff. Okay, March 13th. If I can't get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost. Hold it, hold it, hold it! Okay? Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? Have you forgotten? There's only one thing you should do at a time like this. And what is that? When the people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day. Look, you just leave it to me. For I am Kay Faraday, the second of the great Yatagarasu. But I thought you were a thief, not a hero. The Yatagarasu is noble, and there is always a thief of justice. That's, of course. If we have enough information, I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Plus, if we then factor everyone's testimony, you can recreate exactly what happened when I dropped off the ransom money. We may be able to figure out some new information through this. It's worth a try. Agent Lang? Ah, so you want to use your little toy? Be my guest. Okay, hang on. You're all about to witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Detective Gumshoe, is there a copy of the haunted house's blueprint among the police's reference documents? Yes, sir. We got it just in case we needed it for the kidnapping case. Alright, I'll input the haunted house data then. What is this? Where are we? It's like we're inside the haunted house. Even if we can't expect the real location itself, the path to the truth slumbers here. If I can successfully navigate my way using logic, I'll ultimately arrive at the truth. Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene. Okay, what should I recreate first? You haven't figured it out yet? Maybe I have, and maybe I haven't, but I'm gonna make you do all the hard work. Very well, I'd like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my abductor. The two of them were definitely in this place at that time. If I can verify that, it may provide me with a new lead. I had just come out into the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. At that time, I saw a badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hall. What was a badger doing out all the way down there? I also thought it strange. However, I thought that maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for atmosphere. Do you know which badger it was? No, it was too dark to tell. All I saw was its silhouette. In that case, I'll just program a badger silhouette in for now. Okay, programming complete. Yeah, she's doing lots of programming over there. Then I started walking towards the exit. And that's when you are struck from behind, right? Yes. But that's odd. The hallway is a dead end. Where does your assailant come from? There is only one location I can think of. I believe my assailant was lying in wait here. Where would that be? Where would that be? Oh. It's where the badger is. That doll I saw wasn't really a doll. It was, in fact, a costumed kidnapper. Oh, so he used the costume as the perfect camouflage to blend in with the rest of the house. Precisely. He waited until I had made the drop-off and was about to leave. Then, just as he saw me take a step towards the exit, he stood and launched his attack. I could think of no better hiding place than this. Hey, not bad. I'm beginning to think I should steal this tactic for myself. Just don't use it to do anything criminal, okay? Oh, he's moving. Oh, he's moving. Well, Lance, what are you asking me for? As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first. I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of picking up the ransom money. He didn't set foot inside. Is he telling the truth, or is this another lie? All right, then you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me? Yes, I'm sure it was him. Okay, I'm putting the new info now. Mr. Deacon was the bad badger, right? Since the bad badger has a gun attached to its right hand, I'll have to change it so the weapon is in its left hand. Flip that sprite. Now to verify the facts of this recreation. Okay. I feel like... Oh, wow, I cannot move through this. Okay, so first off, let's go to this mirror, which doesn't seem to reflect me, which is very odd. Very odd indeed. When you take a look around, it almost feels like a house of mirrors. Indeed, who has ever heard of this many mirrors inside a haunted house before? Well, at least we know this is the real crime scene, thanks to these mirror shards. Ah. Hey, wait, these shards, there's something different about them. Oh? The ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards from these mirrors on the wall. And look, there's some kind of design on the back too. The pieces from that costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does this mean? Could it be that our pieces are not pieces of these mirrors? Mirror fragments. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna look at this bad badger. You didn't recreate the weapon. Well, I can't exactly recreate something I know nothing about. So tell me, what were you hit with? The attack came from behind, so I have no idea, but I doubt it was someone's bare hands. Okay, then where were you hit? I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple. There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious. Ouch, sounds painful. Why are you smirking like that when you say it? It's just your imagination. Now, let's see. I wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could have been used as a weapon. Oh, you know what? The sword. The sword. I literally just saw it there. Wait, hang on. Sword. It would be the sword, right? I have it. There was indeed one such object lying here in this hallway. A prop sword. Are you talking about this thing here? Yes, although we did find it at the kidnapper's hideout. Wait, yes, it's possible that the culprit took it with him after using it on me. To leave no evidence behind, right? Correct. It may be worth a more thorough examination yet. Okay, so what test do you want to run on this sword? Oh, luminol, I guess? The culprit was wearing a costume at the time, so a fingerprint analysis is useless. Yeah, we're looking for blood. Agent Lang, may I ask for your cooperation in this matter? Like I have a choice. Sheena, call the lab boys. Understood. Except for a dab on the left side, it would appear that the blade is spotless. So it must have been the left side of the prop suit that hit you then, right? Yes. Okay, I'll update the recreation with this new piece of info. Yes. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, we gotta be deducing something pretty soon, right? Deduce sword. Okay, so we're gonna get this. Presenting a thing to itself once again. Finally, I found a clear contradiction of facts about this sword. Except for a bit on the left side, this prop sword is absolutely spotless. However, if the culprit used his left hand, the blood would be on the opposite side. The opposite side? Huh? If the culprit had the sword in his left hand, then the sword's right side would hit. I see, but the blood was on the left side of the sword, right? Which means that he used his right hand to hit you. Exactly. This prop sword has a large handguard attached to the hilt. It would be impossible to hold it with two hands while wearing such a costume with such big hands. Therefore, if it couldn't be the left hand or both hands, it must have been the right. I'll change the data to reflect a right-handed swing. Not yet, Kay. There's no sense in changing anything yet. If you change the parameters to the right hand, it only create a new contradiction. Changing the prop sword in the culprit's hand would right hand would conflict with what? Oh, the gun, the gun. The gun that was stitched to the left hand. Or the right hand, sorry. The blue badger already holds a gun in his right hand, so it can't hold a sword in addition. Yeah. Hey, that's right. Then what now? If it wasn't in his left or his right hand, it means that the one who struck me could not have been the bad badger. Are you paying attention, Lance? Mr. Deacon could not have been the one who struck me. Which leaves only you as our primary suspect. Fine, it was me, I hit you. It appears that you lied to me yet again, but see how quickly they catch up to you, Lance? Wait, isn't Lance left-handed? Ah, yes, but that's what makes this deception all the more interesting. He used his right hand to make it look like Mr. Deacon had been the one to strike me. For you see, firing a gun with one's non-dominant hand is difficult. But that level of dexterity isn't required. Yo, Cable 2, how's it going? Hey! Thank you so much for the raid, hi! Shout out to Cable 2. I think that was Happy Lab Accidents, right? Hope you had a good time. Hope you drew some fun stuff. Had some fun. We're just getting to the end of this case. We're absolutely nailing this Nepo baby twerp to the wall. The 8 Ziggy, no! Not Ziggy! No! No! No, he's a friend to all. You can't eat him, no! No, Ziggy. Well, I hope it was fun anyway. Hope you had a good one. Thank you so much for the raid. Bow. Okay, yes. So, yes. This Nepo baby twerp tried to frame his girlfriend. So bad. Ziggy. Honestly, that emoji kind of looks like Ziggy. Okay, please input this new data. The one who hit me from behind was Lance. Or should I say, the proto-badger. You got it. Here I go. Pointing that into my AI cell phone app. Man, I wish I had that. Now we have a faithful recreation of the situation around the attack on me. Man, this really is the dark age of the law. We're basically using AI to recreate crime scenes now. All right, all we have to do is examine this new recreation and... And what exactly is so funny, Agent Lang? That amusing little gadget. It sure packs a punch, right, Sheena? Yes, it was all I could do to hold my laughter in. Hey, don't make fun of Little Thief, you mean old werewolf. He and Mr. Edgeworth bring out the best in each other. You've had your little fun, but now it's my turn. I've sat quietly by listening. But the crude conclusions you two keep spewing don't whet this wolf's appetite. There's no guarantee that your toy will always show the real situation at any given time. All it displays is whatever information you put in there, right? Well, when you put it that way, your suppositions are wrong. It's not your fault, so I'm gonna let you in on this. There is a trick to this haunted house. Oh my gosh, Lang's trick. Oh my god, werewolf's trick. And what may that be exactly? A trick beyond what your tiny imaginations can produce. Sheena. She's sliding. She was grooving. She's wearing Heelys. Here you are. She did it backwards. Now then, what you missed, girly. is written right here in this pamphlet. The 7 Wonders of the Haunted House. The Disappearing Badger. What is this? I'd say that someone around here is fond of theatrics. And as you can see, they set a doll down at the end of this hallway for that purpose. Basically, the blue badger you saw was just a stupid doll. Somebody could have easily stepped in on that, though, right? To create an alibi. Right? How can this be? Guess that throws your whole theory about it being your attacker right out the window. But that can't be right. Maybe the culprit hid the doll somewhere, and then he laid down and pretended to be it instead. Not so fast. If the criminal couldn't even hide himself in the hallway, how could he hide a giant doll? Do you get it now? Thanks to your presumptions. Your logic started off weak, and it led you to the completely wrong conclusion. Now get off your high horse. Mr. Edgeworth. Kay, I wonder if you could please input the new information for me. You don't know when to quit, do you? I can't quit. Not until I declare that I found the truth. Agent Lang, for the additional information, you have my thanks. There you go again. Well, see if I care. Okay, I'm updating the recreation now. Ooh. Uh-huh. 2 of them? 3 of them? That looks really weird. Look at how it changes from the blue badger into the proto badger all of a sudden. If the slumped over badger was just a doll, where was my attacker hiding? Well, that's what we're gonna find out, right? So come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. Yes, let's. This recreation can't be right, which means that there must be a contradiction somewhere. Okay, so that contradiction has got to be... Can we logic our way out of this? No, we're still missing a thing. Oh, actually, I think what we're going to do is we're going to look at the slumped over one. Because it looks a little off, doesn't it? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Yeah, this is weird, isn't it? Are we deducing this? Are we deducing that? Are we deducing that? Well, let's just examine it. This blue badger is just a doll for use in this haunted house. I bet the one who killed the blue badger was the bad badger, right? According to the Blue Badger Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy. All because one's an ally of justice and the other's a vile criminal with a gun. Perhaps they were just destined to battle each other. Much like the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. Okay, I think we're going to be deducing this here. Is this spot somehow connected? Just the belt. Okay. Blue Badger Bible. Something's off here. We know it. We know it. We know it. We know something's off here. Hold on a second here. There is something wrong with this blue badger. Huh? Like what? The way the belt is on him and is opposite of how it should be. Did you make a mistake? That can't be. I inputted the image data exactly as it is in the pamphlet. So then why is the blue badger dressed up in reverse? Oh, that might be our connecting logic. That's our connecting thread of logic. Blue badger in reverse. This is reversed. And we got a mirror. Oh, which famously you might know. Reverses things, reverses images. Kay, do you remember what you said earlier? What I said earlier about what? About how this is this building might as well have been a house of mirrors. A house of mirrors? Oh, that would explain the reversed or mirror image. Yes, this blue badger might be nothing more than a reflected image of a real one. Then, was the blue badger you saw just a reflection? When I looked down this hall, I thought it was perfectly straight. However, if there was a mirror... Oh, then it would actually form an L shape, right? Precisely. I was deceived. The hallway was almost pitch black, and there was a beam in the way that obstructed my view of the other hallway. Wait, but why build this place like that? It sounds pretty pointless to me. Kay, this house is just another attraction at an amusement park. They created a mirror wall for a very specific purpose, one I could point out to you. Because it's spooky. Because it's spooky. But what do I present for that? Mm. Oh, right. The pamphlet. It was built that way. As is written in the pamphlet, the main draw of this attraction is the mystery of the disappearing badger. You mean they built the mirror for that trick alone? But you said you saw the badger, so it was definitely still there. That was true at the time. However, doing this allows someone to make the blue badger disappear in a flash. Oh, move the blue badger, right? Move the blue badger, right? All they would have to do is move the blue badger. But do you think someone could really do that? Well, it's a rather expensive prop, so perhaps it isn't possible. Doesn't that kinda ruin the whole point to having the mirror in the first place? I suppose it does. Mr. Edgeworth, come on, you can do better than this. Wait, no, I didn't. Wait, what? Move the mirror wall? To remove reflected image. Okay. First, the mirror was constructed so that it could be moved. Then, beyond where the mirror was, an empty hallway had to be created. Okay, I'm dumb. Sorry. I had a brain moment. So when they wanted people to see the blue badger, they would open the mirror. And when they wanted to hide it, they simply had to close it again. This explains why the other side of these fragments have a design on them. Ah, and if the pattern is the same as the other walls in this hallway, then when the mirror was closed, it was blended with the rest of the walls. This is the mirror trick that the haunted house employs. And this also proves the existence of a hiding place for the culprit. Huh? How so? Think about it, Kay. There was a place that was outside of my field of vision. The culprit kept out of sight by hiding here. I think it's pretty clear it was right there, smack dab in the middle of that room, hallway, cubby thing. There was a very large blind spot, one I could not see beyond, and it was here. Sorry about that. If my assailant hit it on the other side of the movable mirror, then you wouldn't be able to see him. He didn't even need to do anything to the blue badger doll. Exactly. All he had to do was wait for me on the other side of the mirror. Wait, hold on. I just thought of something. Yes? Well, shouldn't the mirror wall be broken right now in reality? Since we have a few shards of it, we can probably assume it is. Yes, it most definitely is broken. The question is, when was it broken? Since we found these inside the victim's costume, that would mean that the victim was there when the mirror was broken. Wait, that sound. Leave the money and go, now. That sound I heard was most definitely the sound of a mirror breaking. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Kay, I'd like you to input some new information. Don't scare me like that. Sorry, but I need you to recreate something for me. Sure, whatever you need. So what do you need, anyway? If you could first recreate this hallway just before I entered the dining room. You got it. Ooh, this room is like twice as big as we thought. Now this, I believe this is how it was right before I entered the dining room. Although, at the time, I thought it was but a single straight hallway. And then I went inside. Hi, Dusper. My hungry ass could not survive 5 nights at Badger Park. So true. I want to go to Gatewater Park and buy like an ice cream in the shape of a blue badger head. I need to eat it. It was around then that I heard the sound of the mirror shattering. You heard what? Then Yes, I believe it was then that the mirror was broken. Okay, so then when you stepped outside into the hallway again, the mirror wall should no longer exist. Okay, please recreate that. Got it. Oh. Yeah. Wait, but with the mirror gone, the culprit lost his hiding spot. So where did he go in his proto-badger suit, Mr. Edgeworth? Ha, that's easy enough. With the mirror gone, he simply hid himself in the branch hallway. I think this about wraps it up. Looks like we finally solved everything. No, not yet. An even larger contradiction has now reared its head. Huh? Perhaps you did not notice, but this recreation contains a very troubling inconsistency. The inconsistency between what I saw and the recreation is... We do have this empty thing. What was that all about? Okay, take a good look at the end of the hall. Oh, there's no blue badger there. Exactly. The blue badger that I saw in reality is not here. This is the final point on this long chain of logic. The last remaining contradiction. Oh, we're back in reality. No more chat GPT VR world. So let me get this straight. When you came out of the dining room, you saw a badger, right? And that is precisely where the final contradiction lies. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was? I believe this is the real identity of our mystery badger. Ah. Oh, you know what? We got the victim's costume. Hang on, which one is it? Where are you? Oh, wait. Wait. I got confused because the sprites look so similar. You see how it looks the same? It's just a blue badger head. The badger I saw was, in actuality, the dead victim's body. What? Agent Lang, the entirety of my complete logic is my final, decisive piece of evidence. The murder happened in the hallway of the haunted house at the time of the drop-off, and you can consider the moment I heard the mirror breaking to be the real time of death for Mr. Deacon. No! Maybe it was due to their fighting, or perhaps it was the life-shattering bullet. But no matter what the cause was, the hallway mirror wall was broken. Ha! You were in the house at the time, right? Are you telling me that you missed the sound of a gunshot? Oh, there were a variety of sound effects playing at the time, all for theatrics, I assume. Yeah, I assume people would want to be entertained and amused at an amusement park. Not that I would be interested in such things, because I'm very stoic. I'm very stoic. I'm Is the game on mute? Oh shoot, it is. I'm so sorry. How long has it been like that? Gosh. Oh, that sucks. Thank you for letting me know. My bad. The gunshot must have blended right in. Yeah. Now then, I'd like you to recall something for me. Who was it that was with the victim at the haunted house? Who was the one who had the opportunity to rob the victim of his gun and use it on him? It was you, Lance Amato. Oh, weird guy. Oh, he's just a real birthday boy. I'm sorry. Oh, poor baby. It's not like I had a choice. Oliver turned on me all of a sudden. He snapped and turned violent right after I hung up with you. He shoved me to the ground and straddled me. I fought back as hard as I could, grabbed his gun, and I shot him. The bullet must have went through his body and shattered the mirror. If I hadn't taken his gun and shot him first, I would have been the one you found. He's a hardened criminal. He escaped from jail. See, that's the justified self-defense. My boy was only trying to protect himself. That remains to be seen, and will have to be resolved in court. Agent Lang, I leave the rest to you. Ha! As if you were the one in charge around here. Guys, arrest these two and get them out of my sight. Wait, I had nothing to do with the murder. The only person you should be arresting is Lance. Dad? Sorry, but you're not slipping away that easily, Mr. Ernest Amano. You tampered with the evidence so that you could cover for your son. What a great dad you are, willing to risk it all. Truly touching. By the way, do you know why I'm really here? And how could I possibly know what the answer to such an asinine question? You wound me. I came all this way from across the sea, just to see you, you know? You came to see me? What's that supposed to mean? You guys know each other? I have a few things to ask you, Mr. Amano, about a case from 10 years ago. A case from 10 years ago? Oh, what's the name that you use here for that case? Sheena? It's known as the KG8 incident. Oh no. Oh no, it's DL6 too! The KG8 incident? Oh, so you remember it. Good, then you'll recall that the trigger in that case was the Amano Group scandal. Specifically, the charge of an internal smuggling ring. Smuggling. There's that word again. At the time, the person that was arrested as the ringleader was Mr. Amano's very own secretary, Mr. Colin Devore. Ah, Father. Even though you pushed the crime onto your then secretary, Mr. Devore, I always suspected that you were involved with the smuggling ring, Mr. Amano. Mr. Devore was arrested in place of you. Which is why when he broke out, you hid him from the police, right? You hid him in exchange for his silence on your little dirty secret. Now. Please calm down. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, pretend to be ignorant all you want. We're taking you down to the precinct anyway for a nice long chat. Hold it. What the? Who the heck was that? Oh, it's you? Wait. I'll take him down to the precinct if you don't mind. And who the heck are you? I'm Jacques Portsman, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Oh, Jacques, thank you to goodness you're here. The thick plottins, oh no, the forehead. The forehead appears nonetheless. Don't jerk me around. This is an Interpol case, so keep your paws off my suspect. Sorry, but I can't comply. I've got the backing of the prosecutor's office. See, in this country, we prosecutors work with the police to bring cases to court. So if you could please cooperate with me here, that'd be great. Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Sorry, but I hate prosecutors, the whole lot of you. Guys, arrest the two suspects. Sir. Oh, I almost forgot. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, is it? I'd like to thank you. Thank me? Yeah, for working so hard to fulfill my goal. Hey, is that any way to thank someone? And what the heck is that supposed to mean? You were so relentless with Lance that you forced Ernest to tamper with the evidence. Thanks to that, I finally had a legitimate reason to arrest him. So, how does it feel to bite the hand that feeds you? The hand that feeds me? I'm not sure I follow. It's no use pretending with me. You're the one, right? You're the corrupt prosecutor that's working for Mr. Amango and the smuggling ring, right? No, I would never do such a thing. What the heck? Our intel's never wrong. In your prosecutor's office, there's definitely someone working with the ring. Ah, so Agent Lang suspected my relation to Mr. Amano. That must be the real reason behind his antagonistic attitude. On top of that, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? Oof. Oof, too soon. There were non-stop rumors flying around about forged evidence with that guy. You're not twisting the truth behind those closed courtroom doors too, are you? The courtroom is a place where the truth is revealed. Well, don't worry. It's not only you. The whole lot of you can't be trusted. A prosecutor who never lost in 40 years, every defendant must be found guilty. Fueled by those ideas, is it any wonder that the courts produce nothing but falsities and lies? It would seem that his disdain extends beyond just me. Prosecutors, the courts, why is this man so angry with us all? Rest assured, the next time we meet, I won't be so forgiving. Gosh, they're so cool. So don't you forget it. Please wait. Agent Sheena, why does Agent Lang hate all prosecutors so? Lang is the head of the long-honored House of Lang in Zhangfa. The heads of all police-related divisions in that country were of Lang blood. Were? What do you mean by that? Aren't they still? They were revered, but that was long ago. They don't hold that sort of sway anymore. And it was all because of the courts. How can that be? A prosecutor once withheld and tampered with the evidence one of the Lang detectives found. That evidence's purity was tarnished and cost the Lang family its honor and trust. But not all prosecutors are like that. Even so, Lang will never respect the court again, or any prosecutor. So Agent Lang is a man who hates all courts and is unwilling to forgive prosecutors. Man, what a piece of work that guy is. Come on, Jeb, we'd better catch up. Yeah. We still gotta deliver that thing to the old man, after all. Right, that guy ends up dying. Not all prosecutors. Sorry, Miles. It's APAB too. Detective Gumshoe, I believe it's time we wrapped up and headed home ourselves. Yeah, are you going home too, Mr. Edgeworth? No, I've done nothing but be entangled in one mess after another since my return. If it's alright with you, can you drop me off at my office? No problem, sir. Excuse me. Yes, what is it? Thank you very much. Ah, it's okay. No need to thank me, pal. Just doing my job as a detective. I guess I was fooled pretty badly by Lance. Oh, cruel fate. What's a woman to do when she's been hurt by the one she loves? And to think I never realized my father was right there. I never said anything to him. I knew it. I'm a failure. Ah, there she goes again, talking to herself. Miss Pops, I wonder if you know why your father participated in the kidnapping. No, I have no idea. Your father died while he was trying to stop Lance, which means that from the beginning, he had no interest in the staged self-abduction. Wait, then why did he... I believe it was because of your presence, Miss Pops. Me? Lance realized that the two of you were related, which is why he used you as a hostage to coerce Mr. Devore into cooperating. Father... As a felon, he could not tell you of his real relation to you. However, as the Amano family butler, at the very least, he was able to watch over you. It was all he could do, but that was the shape of his overflowing love for you. Go on, speak your mind. That is... Thank you very much. You're welcome, although there is no need to thank me. No, Lauren, stop. I mean, this man's so much older than you. Oh, no. That's not the only reason you're barking up the wrong tree there, Lauren. That is a gay boy. He will leave you for a man. He looks like you've completely stolen her away, Mr. Edgeworth. Way to go, sir. Your technique is way beyond the level of a great thief. Oh gosh, he's the Rizzler over here. What are you going on about now? Wow, your deducing skills may be sound, but you have no street smarts. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. Yeah, I mean, he still hasn't figured out who I am at all. Huh? If you haven't remembered in all this time, I guess I'm just gonna have to say it. This isn't the first time we've met, you know. Well, what do you mean, pal? Mr. Edgeworth, how do you know this girl? Wait, what? Looks like you totally forgot me too, Gummy. Gummy? Huh? Here, maybe this will jog your memories. I promised I'd return this to you one day, remember? That's a shape. That single piece of cloth took me back, far into my past. To that fateful day 7 years ago, when I first met the then child Kay. And Detective Gumshoe. Huh? Oh no, you're not gonna the end me on that. No, you can't. It's evil. It's wrong, I say. No. 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 All right. Well, there you go, folks. That was illuminating. Of course, we left off on a cliffhanger. It looks like we only have 2 cases left in this game. Turnabout Reminiscence and Turnabout Ablaze. Oh man, those names definitely give me pause, I'll tell you that. Oh dear. Lawyer, laws, lawyers, you know how it is. That's right. That's right. Okay. That's gonna be all for me tonight. I am still feeling super drained from my jabs yesterday. Thank you. No, I'm glad you were able to stop by. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for letting me know about my audio. I might have not realized that if you didn't let me know. But yeah. Yep. I'm gonna try to record some Let's Play stuff probably tonight or tomorrow night. So that was the end of my schedule, but yeah, I'm gonna record some stuff. Hopefully we can get that going this week, or like early next week. I can start uploading stuff. I think my goal is to have like 3 or 4 things to upload during the week, but it really just depends on how long the recording sessions go. Really just depends on how that goes. But I think it's gonna be good. I think I'm gonna be able to produce at least 3 Let's Play style videos per week. I think that'll be reasonable. That way you get 3 streams, 3 videos. You get 6 hazels per week. I'd say that's pretty good. And I could probably even do 7 depending on how things go. I have something every single day. That would be really cool. It would be cool to be able to do daily stuff. Daily something. It would be cool. And I think I'm probably gonna do Epic Mickey as well. You don't need to push to do a lot. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking in terms of like, definitely noted. I appreciate that. I'm just thinking in terms of like what would be doable for me and not overwhelming. Because like Let's Plays are a little different, right? If we're talking about like a 20 to 30 minute video, obviously that's different from like a 2 to 3 hour stream. Like 2 hours. If I do like 1 hour of recording, that could be like 2, possibly even 3 videos. Right? It's a little bit different, but it's a different skill set, probably. But yeah, I'm working within my limits for sure. I know I don't need to push myself. I appreciate you pointed that out though. I know people have definitely expressed that to me. Like you don't need to be grinding every single week, you know. But yeah, I mean actually the thing that made me start actually even thinking about this in the first place was because I'm planning on going on vacation in early March. Yeah, on March 1st, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be out of the country actually. So yeah, that's gonna be for like over a week. So I was thinking I want stuff to have on during that time, so I have uploads to do. So hopefully I can build a backlog of that. But yeah, it's kind of just making it so it's more consistent because streams are fun. I enjoy doing it, but it's also like sometimes it's like hours of like talking, and it's like you know, sometimes my schedule just makes it easier for me to hop on here and record stuff. So it's about a balance, but I'm thinking I can probably stick to about 3 videos per week, maybe a couple. Maybe we can dial it down if that tends to be too much, but I feel like that's probably doable. More viewers for 1,000 bits. I would personally no. No. I'm not Mr. Beast. I hunted down a random one of my viewers. If they win, and if they elude me, they get 1,000 bits. Okay, voice. Yeah, voice is starting to go. All right, but yeah, I think hopefully we'll get some LP content out by early next week. Looking forward to doing some of that. All right, thank you for hanging out. I will see you next time. I'll try to get a schedule out. Today's Saturday, right? So I can put up the schedule tomorrow or Monday. I think that's probably what I'll do. Maybe I'll start adding my videos to the schedule. No, let me figure out a workflow for that first. let me not get ahead of myself. I'll let you know when that happens, though. All right. Have a good rest of your night. Bye. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye.